Well, I said I was going to do a war game eventually, and I found one that fits what I'm kind of looking for. Look at the Warhammer 40k Armageddon. So, I'm I'm very much a newcomer to the 40k universe, uh, having discovered it recently, and it is so beyond stupid, beyond over the top, and how all this stuff works, and yet it is endlessly fascinating and a lot of fun. It's I don't know how else to describe it. It's just a really cool sci-fi universe. It's clearly meant to be over the top. Like it's serious to a degree, but then it's like, you know, as soon as everything seems so grim dark, and then it's like, oh yeah, there's the orcs, and they're stupid, and well, incredibly violent and stupid. Um, but they're a riot when it comes to laughs. So throughout this, I'm going to be talking about my limited experience with 40k and see if you guys actually have an interest in seeing this, or at least won't be repulsed by it. And if you want more, I'll talk more about the series. It's pretty cool. But what this game is and all the DLCs, this is a huge game. It's based on the conflict that took place on a planet called Armageddon, uh, based on the second uh, conflict. Well, you would be led to believe the first conflict, but talking about the first conflict is heresy. More on that some other time. Uh, but this is when the orcs invaded, or at least they were kind of testing the waters. They were led by, oh god, what was their warlord's name or war boss? Gazgul, uh, something or Thraka. I'm missing a name in there somewhere. Sorry. Again, I'm still new to this. Give me a break. Does anyone to see how tough this planet was? He's like, okay, so we found this space hulk, which is basically a bunch of ships smashed together in the chaos warp, or well, smashed together by chaos in the warp, and it makes a big fuck you ship. So they took one of these and like, we're just gonna fill it full of orcs and crash it into this planet called Armageddon. It's not the name of the battle isn't called Armageddon. That's the name of the planet is Armageddon because Imperial naming standards are very subtle. You know, with city names like Hell's Reach, Deathmire, and Tartarus. You know, pretty subtle. And the planet's a shithole. It's pollution and death everywhere. Everything's awful on Armageddon. But it's an industrial powerhouse, so they have to defend it. So yeah, they crash this space hulk into the planet, and the governor's like, there's probably nothing inside it. It's fine. We can start salvaging it and stuff. And then here come the orcs, and oh shit, the planet's the PDF is caught with their pants down, and the governor's a retard. So the defenses do poorly for a while. And they have to deal, and a very surprised PDF has to deal with just millions of orcs. Not nearly as many as a certain later conflict would bring, but I mean it's a pretty sizable conflict considering what they're up against. The only thing stopping the orcs from completely overrunning the planet is the Steel Legion, which is a what do you call it? Not chapter. A branch, for lack of a better word, a branch of the Imperial Guard that's specifically made to work on Armageddon. It is entirely mechanized, or at least close to entirely mechanized. They're all outfitted with gas masks and stuff like that because, again, the air is crap. And, yeah, and they kind of need... they kind of need vehicles with NBC protection because, again, the planet is so shit. So that's why everything's mechanized. And if they have to go out in this horrible mess, well, best to do it as quickly as possible. So at least when it comes to this, they have a distinct mobility advantage. They're ready to intercept any threat. The problem is the threat is extremely large. So, yeah, let's get started with this. This is basically like, if anybody's played Panzer Corps, Panzer Corps is like a spiritual successor to Panzer General, and that's exactly how this works. Okay, so I've played like I've played through all the tutorials before, and I've played through 5 of the main missions. There's a ton of DLC for this too, so I'll have plenty to play through if people like this. So we're gonna go through the tutorial campaign, and yeah, I'll just do one mission at a time, even if it means it's a short video. But for the tutorials, I might do a couple in one go because like the first 2 are pretty short. The 3 can take a little bit, or the other 3 can take a little bit. But we'll see how it goes here in a sec. Tutorial campaign. A huge space hulk appears in the Armageddon system. It is believed to be uninhabited, but Commissar Yarrick is alarmed by its presence and initiates training sessions for Steel Legion units to ensure they are ready for any emergency. Just a sec. Oh, I need a new headset, guys. Who wants to find me a new one? Just kidding, I can afford one. I'm just cheap. Alright, let's keep going with this. We're going to play on normal because I haven't been through the game before. I mean, aside from, the first total, what, 8 to 10 levels? Whatever. I keep on Fog of War and we'll allow undos. Now, the way it works with undos is just kind of like in chess. As soon as you take your hand off the piece, that's it. You have confirmed your move. Let's see, over here. I'll just be Commander Honky, sure.
Congratulations on your promotion, Commander.
Well, thank you.
The Steel Legion needs more officers like yourself, especially as recruitment stations are becoming scarcer due to these cutbacks. In any case, you have been assigned north to Hive Deathmire and Armageddon Prime.
What a nice name, Deathmire. How about this thing back here? No, that's not Minas Tirith. That's what's called a Hive City. Hive cities are basically cities built upon cities. They can house billions of people, and the lower you are in the hive, the more shitty life is for you. In fact, it gets to the point where there's just like straight up monsters living in the underhives and whatnot. And life is not great in an Imperial Hive unless you're like middle class and you're probably doing okay. But even then, it's kind of meh. Let's see. Hive Deathmire. I thought all junior officers were being deployed to Hive Infernus for arranging exercises into the Palladus Mountains.
You will soon realize ours is not to question why, Commander, especially a lower-ranking Juve officer. You and your freshly mustered battalion have been requisitioned by Sebastian Yarrick from the 4th Regiment up in Deathmire, if you must know.
So we're working for the Imperium here, and the Imperium is basically theocratic space Nazis. So in this universe, space Nazis are not quite the bad guy. They're just not as bad, at least government-wise. It's a long story. Sebastian who?
Sebastian Yarrick is an aging commissar, well regarded off-world if the rumors at the spaceports are to be believed. Apparently, he and von Straub do not get on, but the governor allows the old paranoid commissar the odd request to keep him from interfering in other matters. And this space hulk that's appeared in system has him even more agitated and paranoid than normal. They say he's as tough as a Catachan devil, so don't mess him around.
Don't mess him around?
Greetings, Commander. I'll keep this short as I'm not the chatty type. You need to show me what you can do. I dislike weak leadership. It gets soldiers killed, and I consider that a waste. This thing, this space hulk inbound. Von Straub's fawning circle of advisors would have us believe it is uninhabited space junk, but I'm not so sure. There are many warnings of dark times ahead. The statue of the Emperor in Hell's Reach even weeps tears of blood.
That's no good.
I need you and your battalion battle ready. I'll leave you with Drill Sergeant Goyle. Technically you outrank him, of course, but he speaks as if my words were his. Don't disappoint me.
In this exercise, you'll be using non-lethal ammunition against another newly mustered battalion, also led by a junior officer. According to my reports, you may know each other from your Schola Progenia days. Commander Venbar Jackson? In any case, don't let Schola ties affect your performance. Remember, you are under the Commissar's scrutiny.
Yes, ma'am. Welcome to your first Warhammer 40k Armageddon mission. This tutorial will teach you everything you need to know in order to enjoy the game. Read the instructions and close the message box to try them out. All the action takes place on the tactical map, which covers most of the screen. This is where units move and attack. You are a junior officer in command of a small contingent of Steel Legion forces. Your training opponents are also in command of Steel Legion units, but they have different strength plates, and so are easy to distinguish. Scroll the map, move the cursor to the edge of the screen, and the map will automatically scroll in that direction. You can also drag the map by pressing and holding the left mouse button or use arrow keys. Click the mini-map to quickly jump to any location. To give orders to your unit, you need to select it first by using the left mouse button. Select one of your units. Can I use WASD? Yes, I can. I'll take, the Stompy Mech. The small one. It's more like kind of like a Star Wars ATST, Chicken Walker. Every unit may make one attack and one move and one attack per turn. The unit's remaining actions are indicated by the small icons above its strength plate. To move a unit, click one of the highlighted designation hexes. To attack an enemy unit, click one of the targets highlighted on the map. After a unit has moved, you can undo its move and choose a different destination as long as the unit did not discover any previously hidden enemy units. To do this, use Undo Move button on the UI sidebar. A unit's move is confirmed when you deselect it or initiate an attack. Okay, then to go over stats. So we have morale that just kind of affects everything, so you want it as high as possible. You can use rest and refit to bring that back up. We have cover. This is... I'm not sure if it raises our evasion or cuts damage in this case. I don't know if it was probably explained, but basically you want more cover. It's going to help you one way or the other. Defense is your armor. I don't know how the math works exactly. It's not exactly 1-to-1 ratio on how it works versus attack power, but it's something like that, I think. Here. Initiative, this is who goes first in each battle encounter. And you have your weapons over here. Wait, do I ever... I don't think I have it set to show mouse. So you're not seeing any of this. Whoops. Well, hopefully you see the things pop up at least, so you kind of know where I'm at. You have your range, how far I can shoot. So we can shoot from 3 spaces away. You have attack strength. Armor piercing ability, so this cuts through 20% of all armor. And we got how many shots it takes. It's not like it does like a bunch of separate attacks. Well, I mean, it kind of does, but it lumps it together as one sum during that attack, I guess. That's the best way I can put it. Now, this has a high attack power, but it only has 1 shot. So it's really meant for like hardened targets, like armor and whatnot. Not so much for infantry. I mean, we could take a shot. In fact, we're going to. Okay. Now you see the thing that pops up here. It says -0. That's in red. That's for my side. What kind of losses I'll take, and -2 for them. Now, this doesn't mean how many units they'll lose. This means how many hit points they'll lose. Now, it just so happens that most infantry just has 1 hit point each, so these guys will lose 2 actual units. You can kind of confirm this by... Well, I can't scroll off of it. Look down the, UI sidebar over there. There's a part of it that's flashing. That's roughly how many units they'll lose. Each of those dividers, it indicates a new unit or whatever. Now, these numbers are rough because it doesn't take stuff like accuracy into consideration and other random factors. Let's take a shot. Yeah, it did better than expected. Neat. Oh, hey, there's a heavy flamer thing there. Let's move this guy down here. Deal with this. Okay. Can I shoot from there? No. Okay, you guys are armed with auto pistols, so you're gonna have like just 1 range. So I can outrange you, no problem. And they did. Take that. Got captured with infantry or rough riders or something else that can fit in a small spot like that. Congratulations, you have captured your first victory hex. You need to capture all victory hexes on the map in order to win the mission. Okay, now this thing's equipped with a heavy flamer, so it's only a range 1. If you're not sure what it's supposed to be, you click off of there. Just make sure that that's the move you want to make. Otherwise, hit undo and then check over here. You go over here and look at their heavy flamer. It's got a range of 1, and it's lower attack power than the mech. It only has 40, but it takes up to 4 shots. So it's particularly good against light targets, like infantry. And that's how this game works. Pretty simple. Okay, we've moved everybody. If you're not sure, you can click the arrows down here. Unless they're grayed out, then it just means, oh yeah, you've done everything. Can I buy anything yet? This is the first time you've viewed the purchase screen. It is useful for recruiting additional units, but also to review all of the unit types available to you in this scenario, and check out their stats. On the left, you can see 2 important parameters affecting your ability to purchase new units, requisition points, and unit slots. Every unit type has an associated cost. And you need to have enough requisition points to recruit it. Unit slots shows the number of additional units you can have in any given scenario. As you recruit units, the slots disappear, and until you lose units, you cannot recruit. On the left side, or on the left, you can also select a faction and a class of unit you want to produce or purchase. Units in the list can be active or grayed out. Grayed out units cannot be recruited because you cannot afford them or have no slots, but you can still select it to review its stats. If the selected unit can be equipped with a transport, the available transport options are shown underneath. After reviewing the stats, press the purchase button to recruit the selected unit, or cancel to exit. Your ability to purchase units is not unlimited. The number of units cannot exceed the number of core slots shown next to the requisition points in the purchase screen. Use your core slots wisely. Okay, so we can't buy anything because I have no requisition points and I have no slots open anyway, so yeah. All I'd be able to buy are these infantry and some walkers. So we'll leave that for now. Okay, and turn. You can zoom the map in and out using the mouse wheel. You can also press the strategic map button to get an overview of the entire map, which is useful when planning your strategy. All your units are moved. Press the enter button to pass the turn to your opponent. Okay, see if anything jumps us over here. Get out of here. He's pathetic. Do we discover anything? Oi! An enemy unit is in range of your weapons, but you cannot attack it because your line of sight is blocked by high terrain. You can see the weapons properties of terrain, including its effect on line of sight, in the UI sidebar. That's important. Okay, still can't hit anything. They can't move anywhere else, so okie dokie, end turn. Wait a minute. No, shit. That's no good. That heavy flamer's coming right for us. Armageddon will automatically save the game every time you end your turn to a temporary autosave file. This file will be overwritten each time you end your turn. You can load this save game from the in mission menu or from the main menu. You can also manually save your game at any time from in mission. Now, take note, I will not be save scumming, so whatever happens, happens. Because you carry units over from mission to mission, so it pays to keep them alive, but if we don't keep them alive, well, we don't keep them alive. Thankfully, this is just a tutorial, so they didn't come after me. No, it's not in firing range. Is that in firing range? You can attack this enemy unit, but your unit's line of sight is partially blocked by high terrain. This attack will be less effective because your firing accuracy is reduced by the blocking terrain. Boy, that was a shit shot. Yeah, that's right. Oh, more Hive militia. Okay. Not quite. Okay. Go ahead and turn. This unit's morale has dropped below maximum. It has become less effective. Morale is indicated by the color of unit's strength number. Morale decreases in combat and can be restored by using rest and refit command. F you. I can't shoot from that angle. Oh well. Okay, go ahead and turn. Well, they have auto guns, but that can it's still bad enough to actually hurt me, and decently too. Because this will be so concentrated. So we'll stay back and play it safe. Now, as far as I know, there's no ammo mechanics in this, so you know, if you got a shot and you won't get hurt, take it. Basically. Okay. Sorry, I'm tired. Yeah, I'll be quitting after this map, methinks. It's short, but, you know, whatever. Let them have it. We only got one of us. Woo, we can take it next turn. And that's a wrap. You've captured all victory hexes. Your opponent only gets one chance to catch them back, so to win the scenario, you make sure you hold on to it for the rest of the turn or whatever. So, yeah, basically, if they have units left, they get a chance. They get one chance to try and take back their victory points, and that's it.
As the Commissar ordered, I've been monitoring your maneuvers, and that was sloppy. You'll need to perform better to face the horrors I have witnessed. Believe me, boy, the Xenos covered every Imperial world, and it's up to the Imperial Guard to stop them. Don't listen to the fairy tales. The Space Marines are all but a myth. They won't be about to save your backside when there's an orc breathing down it.
When there's an orc.
Greetings, citizens of Armageddon.
This guy is such a douche.
You may have heard rumors that a large deposit of intersector space debris is floating towards our home. It is true that over the next few days the sky will darken as this phenomenon, designated by the Air Marshal as Alveus Alpha Alpha Sextus, gets closer. But there is no need to panic. I can assure you, this wreck is uninhabited. And I intend to claim salvage rights for the people of Armageddon. Who knows what treasures, what precious archaeotech lie hidden within. This will benefit us all, so stay calm, don't panic, and keep paying those gilded taxes. Oh yes, and bless the Emperor!
We take to the jungles. I need to see how your battalion performs in dangerous environmental conditions. So make sure those gas masks are on tight.
Dude's looking like
It won't
Sabretooth.
be all desert plains, boy. You'll have to fight through canyons of fire, acid rivers, burning winds, toxic rains, and trudge through vast patches of gropeweed or Hell's Reach monster, a vile plant. And that's just here in Armageddon. As with the previous mission, you'll be facing Jackson's battalion. I expect you to show him no mercy. When I fought the Eldor and Orgil VX, they were pitiless killers. And so should you be too, if we are to face the Xenos and survive.
Just got
Xenos
word
are
from that
aliens.
paranoid old dog of a commissar. we'll be facing you for the rest of our posting at this crap hole of a hive. You got lucky on that first exercise, but just like at the Scholar, I'm going to teach you a few lessons of my own. See you in the jungle, Commander.
Whatever. Capture 3 victory hexes. Can I save this? I'm going to read this first. Okay. Welcome to your first deployment phase. In a campaign game, core units travel with you from mission to mission. Before the battle begins, you need to place your core units anywhere within the designated deployment zones on the map. To deploy a unit, select it in the list and select one of the highlighted deployment hexes where you want to place it. Hint: use the strategic map to quickly find all potential deployment locations. Okay, this is where we'll call it quits. Are we going to use a save file? No save files, blah blah blah. This will be just LP. There we go. Alrighty. Yeah, again, let me know what you guys think if you're interested in this. Got any 40k fans out there? Feel free to correct me on anything I say. I'm still learning, but it's all very fascinating, and can't wait to learn more about it. Would love to play the actual tabletop game, either the the RPG or the actual war game. Any of them sound fun, but maybe in the future. So yeah, let me know. Catch you guys later.